cracking, everybody? Just wanted to go into 3 things that I do in my life to help me to remember and kind of reconnect. Amidst the chaos of the everyday world. Just driving down the freeway, you got people trying to run you off the road, and it's like this world is constantly trying to push you to live at its pace, right? But this is the man-made world that is doing that. This world, the world that was here before man, this world is not trying to push me to live at any pace, right? This world knows how to be still and connect with, just where it's from. I think that people, we've forgotten where we come from, and it's pretty intense. The way we act, and I think that a lot of the ways we act towards each other and towards the planet are definitely from kind of like a consequence of the way we've been living, I guess. Like, when you take time to get out here and to listen to yourself and to nature, you really got to take the time or make the time to reconnect to yourself. And I think that when you're making the effort to reconnect with nature, then nature recognizes that and supports your efforts. And 3 things that I do personally to help me relieve stress and not become a nervous wreck in this world that's constantly pushing, is, well, the first one will be doing this, right? And I don't know if that's the same thing for everyone, but I know for me personally, getting the fresh air and the natural light and the peace and quiet is so beneficial, man. Like, for my mental health. I don't think that we were built to always be, stimulated by information and other people's perspectives at every minute, like the human being did not evolve to, tune into some news every night, tune into the 5 o'clock news or whatever it is. How is it possible that there's news every single day, right? How much of this is ever important to your life? I can't remember the last time that there was something on the news that was truly important to me. But, if that's your thing, like, whatever, man, like, but I choose to not plug into that because it doesn't feed my soul, it doesn't nourish my well-being, like this does, right? I don't think that, like, out here I don't have to worry about if the trees are being fake or if the birds are trying to manipulate me, but sometimes you really do have to wonder that about people. And I'm not trying to paint like a dark picture, but it's just like, nature is faithful, nature is loyal, but I think that nature is asking for our respect in return, right? And nature's hurting right now. We are hurting right now, and we are nature. And we've done so much damage to ourselves and to the planet. And we've done this to ourselves, right? So the more that we can make this effort to get back to nature, to reconnect, to live within our means rather than thinking that we have to want so much more, in terms of stuff, right? So yeah, my first way, just getting in nature, spending time outside, getting barefoot when I can. Man, lately just been getting barefoot, and it's just, you're touching your feet to the earth, right? Like, we live on the earth. How often do you touch your bare feet to the planet? It's pretty profound if you think about it, how separated we are in the concrete worlds that we've built, and just cars and houses and shoes all the time. Like, you live on your feet, right? You live on your feet. You're always walking around. But they're always separate from the planet, man. And there's actually, like, from what I understand, there's so many, like, nerves and things in your feet that it's just crazy. You can feel so much. So yeah, man, I think that we really need to use the tools available to us, man, and reconnect to our roots, because we're going off the rails. And nature's been there for me, man. How can I be there for nature? How can we be there for nature? Man, and so number 2 for me, when I can, I go to float tank. If you've never heard of that, it's, you go and lay in this tank. I don't want to break it down all right now, but basically it's, you lay in this tub that someone has at a facility, and it's full of like almost 1,000 pounds of salt in this water, right? And the water is about like yay. And there's so much salt in this water that when you lay in it, it immediately picks you up when you lay back. And it's so many good benefits in there for you, man. I don't even want to get into it right now, but because it's just so much. But it's called floating, and it's pitch black in there. There's no sound, ideally, right? You're in like a tank, but the water's only this deep, so it's nothing to be scared of, man, unless you're afraid of the dark. But even then, you can leave the door open if you want to the tank. But man, I love it, You get a break from gravity because you get to lay in this water, right? And the water's actually even heated up to the temperature of your skin. Is from what I understand, right? So it's about 95 degrees, I believe, the surface temperature of your skin. So eventually when you're laying in this water, you get still enough to where you don't know where the water begins and your skin ends, and where the water ends and your skin begins. You kind of just feel like it's all one thing. But you got to really work at it. You got to let go and release, and because you got to stay still for long enough to where your body kind of starts to fall asleep, and you can kind of really let go into the experience. And floating is yeah, man, there's nothing like it, because you're in this place where there's no stimuli, right? There's no sound, there's no sight, it's pitch black. There's no taste or smell, and You know, there's no really sensory input, so you really get a chance to kind of decompress, I guess. And because during the everyday life, like, you're on a subconscious level, you're kind of scanning for threats all the time. Whether you're walking down the street, you know, wherever you are, you're always kind of on the guard sometimes, you know, and that takes a lot of energy out of you, whether you realize it or not. And also just living life and balancing every day, like, takes a lot of your brain's attention to fight with gravity, you know. You're always kind of working with gravity no matter what you're doing. And so getting in the float tank, you know, you're getting a break from gravity, man. And so a lot of, like, extra energy kind of comes to you because usually a lot of times our energy is always going outside. We're always focusing on what's going on around us. But when you get into the float tank, it's kind of, you know, it's just you there, and it's just so relaxing. And but if you can't do that, man, I also meditate. I don't know why I'm laughing right now, but I meditate too. But I feel like even, like, talking about this shit, like, you know, that would just make it a longer video because there's so much you can talk about with anything. But I'm gonna get down to the basics, okay? Getting out in nature, meditation, or floating, right? So I practice meditation daily. And all that really is to me is just making a space in the morning, at least in the morning, to start my day off, to just sit with myself, man, and just get in touch with myself and listen to what's going on inside of me. And to just make that time every day, man. It helps you to start off on the right foot. And a lot of time when I'm sit down to meditate, you know, and just watch my breathing, or it's really a good practice, man. It really is really good for mental health because it teaches you to stop and slow down, man. So yeah, meditation. And even sometimes when you sit to meditate, like, you'll just be thinking about, you know, stupid things that aren't really helpful or whatever. And but even so, like, just still taking the time to even do it, like, I feel like is still essential, and, you know, whatnot. And then the third way that I kind of stay, like, mentally healthy and de-stress, I had to get back on track, so is exercising, you know. And so getting in nature, meditation, and exercising. And you guys all know what exercise is, right? Like, so I mean, I don't have to explain it to you, but I just feel like, yeah, man, there's a lot of things that we can do that are free, that are you know, like, nature's free, man. Like, exercising is free. Like, floating costs money, but meditation doesn't. You can sit quietly anywhere, man. And I just feel like I feel like we don't need as much as we think we do to be happy, right? But finding a purpose or finding a way to serve others is something that I know will be the only thing that can fulfill, because there's nothing quite like feeling like you're of use to people, and you don't want to feel useless, or you don't. And yeah, so Anyway, I know my video was a little bit choppy, but I was practicing getting my getting comfortable and everything, and yeah, I hope you like this video, guys. So fuck yeah. I hope you I hope this video finds you well, and um, you know, learn to take care of yourself, because then you can take care of the world. If you take care of yourself, you're taking care of the world, and if you're taking care of the world, you're taking care of yourself. Like, I don't mean that to sound like selfish, right? But it really starts with you. And if it really starts with you, so yeah. All right. Much love. Check you later.